Hey crafty friends, this is Nancy the Handy Scandy, and thanks for joining me for another crafty venture. Today I am participating in another hop, and this is a celebration hop for Katharine Kelly. She's the founder of Team Tiny, and she has recently reached her 1,000 subscriber milestone here on YouTube. So today I'll be making these two cards with you today, and we're going to jump into the card and then I'll come back to the hop in a minute. So I'm using some Neenah Classic Crest Solar White cardstock. I've cut it down to 4 1/4 by 5.5 inch panels, and I'm using my Honeybee Stamps layering stencils, and this is from their relatively new release. I think it was maybe in March. I'll have everything linked and listed below, but these are the sweetest little daisy-like stencils, and oh my goodness. So the top layer is what I'm ink blending through right now, and I'm using some Tailored Expressions inks, and again I'll have these linked and listed below as well. And I'm just doing the ink blending. I did that on the first panel off screen, and then I came back in with the second panel on screen, and I want to add some layer and some texture and dimension and shine. So through the stencil again, I want to give it a little bit of pop, and so I'm using my Nuvo, I think it's crystal drops, and I'm just using it as like a glaze or a paste, and I squeeze it all over the stencil and I spread it on with that little art palette, and it just adds the perfect level of shimmer, shine, and dimension that I'm looking for. And I do that on both of the panels, and then after they're dry I come back with the second layer of the stencil, and then I use my Nuvo glitter glaze in black, and so they look kind of like Black-Eyed Susans, right? Or little daisies with the brown centers, only these centers are black. And again, this is another layer of pop, if you will, another layer of texture and shimmer and shine, and I'm all about some texture and dimension on a card. I love it. And you know, some glitter and some glitz and some bling, can't go wrong with that either, right? I did kind of go nuts, I feel like it, with the dimension on this card, because you'll see in the end I have lots of layers in subtle ways, I guess, so maybe it's not nuts, but anyway, it is super fun. I love it. So here I am about to stamp up these sweet piggy images from My Favorite Things, and I'll tell you a little bit about the hop while I'm doing the stamping. So like I said, this is a celebration hop for Katharine Kelly, and she is the founder of Team Tiny, who is essentially the host for this particular hop. Now, while most of the hoppers are from Team Tiny, there are some hoppers that are a little bit bigger names, and they also have a higher subscriber count. On Team Tiny we have 1,000 or less, so we're pretty small channels, but there are some other hoppers that are not. She, like I said, has reached her 1,000 subscribers. In fact, she's well over that. She's getting closer to 1,500 at this point. And this is a hashtag driven hop, and what that means is you'll click on the hashtag in either the title or the description box below, and that will pull up all of the hoppers, all the participants, and you can just hop from each one, and just join us, you know, on each specific video. Please do take the time to stop at each of the talented participants in the hop. Make sure you leave a comment at each stop, and consider subscribing if you would. The more channels you leave comments on, the more chances you have to win many of the prizes. And at the very beginning it showed who our sponsors were. Did you look at that list of sponsors? It's exciting. We have, well, I'll get back to that. Anyway, I'll have it listed below as well, and there's another screenshot of the thumbnail at the end of the video, but there's a lot. We want to make sure that you have as many chances to win as you can. So, you know, you got to comment, you got to subscribe if you're going to do that. Some of the prizes may be available only to the continental US, so make sure that you include your country when you comment, okay? Also, you have to subscribe to Katharine Kelly. If you're not already a subscriber there, that is how you initially get entered for prizes, and then each comment after that adds an additional chance to win. We'd also encourage you to subscribe to our channels as well. I know I personally love when you guys subscribe, when you comment, when I can communicate with you in the comments. I love that, you know. All the other participants in the celebratory hop, we would appreciate that, your support, your feedback, your participation. That's what we thrive on. That's why we do what we do. You are what we do. I mean, you are why we do what we do. Let me not get tongue-tied there. Yeah, so we just appreciate you, and we would love for you to hop along and do all the things. And again, all the details will be listed below, and the requirements for the prizes will be in the drop box down below. So back to the card. You saw me hit this inked up panel with my heat gun, and that was because I used VersaFine ink, which is not an alcohol friendly ink, and I'm using alcohol markers to color in these images. So I wanted to make sure that that ink was dried and cured, which I did not give it enough time. Even though I hit it with my heat gun, it was still a little wet. And alcohol ink will cause VersaFine to bleed. So I did have a little bit of that going on as I was coloring, but I was able to kind of work it out as I colored along. I am no colorist by any means. I'm very much a beginner colorist, and in fact colorist is probably too strong of a term. But I do not have a Copic, so I can't compare what I do to Copic coloring. This is alcohol ink coloring, which of course Copics are, but I'm using my Arteza Everblends, and I have to tell y'all, as I've said before, I love them. And if Copics are even better, which I hear that they are, I can't imagine how much I would love a Copic. But I have to get the use out of these markers as I paid for them, and you know, no one has an unending font of money. So I'm using what I have, and I love these. You know, it's not like I'm being punished in any way by using these markers. So I don't show you all of my coloring because I essentially color all 4 piggies with the same color palette. And then I colored in the little flowers. I colored them to match the background panels with the honeybee stencil, and I also colored up the little butterfly, and I used the same colors with the butterfly as well, except I added a little bit more orange to him. I will have the Arteza Everblends listed down below, and here I am fussy cutting, of course, and I don't make you sit through all of this. I mean, we've all fussy cut. Some of us like it, some of us don't. I'm just using my little Tonic scissors to cut this out, and I'm giving a fairly wide white border because I knew I could never do justice to those little piggy tails or the flower stems. So I just went ahead and decided that I would leave a fairly wide white border all around each image. And once the cards get made, once the images are adhered to the panels, you're not looking at the border anyway. You're looking at the images and the overall composition of the card. So I'm okay with it. It actually adds kind of another layer, if you will, or another detail to make them look more cartoony. So here they all are, colored, cut out. They're adorable. I mean, MFT, come on, they're so cute. So now I am about to ink blend with my blue Atelier ink. I can't remember the name of the blue, but I'll again have that listed down below. I'm using this cloud stencil, which I've probably had, y'all, literally about 20 years. Can you believe it? It's kind of crazy. So I love stenciling cloud backgrounds. I feel like that just takes your project up a notch. Whatever your scene is going to look like, if you can add some stencils to that little stencil detail, I think it's fantastic. If you're not into it, you're not into it. That's okay. But I love it. And you can use whatever stencil you like to make your clouds. You can even make your own if you have cloud dies. So I'm, I don't know, I'm kind of geeking out about it. I love a cloud background. So here, I've told you all that I'm not a planner. I have an idea, but I don't have a plan. So this is my mess of dies. This is how I quote unquote organize them. And I'm flipping through to try to find some options that will help me figure out my idea and make it into a plan. So I pull out these, I think there are 4 or 5 options here, and if y'all have watched any of my recent videos or seen my stuff that I've posted on social media, you know that I'm in love with that heart background or heart dye right now. But for this project, I end up going with my Pink Fresh Studio. I think it's called Inverted Scallop Dye, and it's adorable. Oh my gosh. And it makes the perfect little vignette. Excuse me for these 2 card projects. Excuse me, I was having a little bit of snack there. And here they are cut out. I have them layered. I have the panels trimmed down. I have a black layering panel cut down as well, and I have my card bases folded and scored, and I am ready to start mounting my projects and creating my little scenes. So I already have the first one done. I'm only going to do one for you on screen, and I have to keep punching out the little holes. They don't want to come out for me. So here I'm using my Nuvo glue pen, and it takes a little while to adhere, so that gives me some time to wiggle and kind of squidge my things around. And you know, I don't know, when it comes to layers, again, that I'm creating more layers here, and more is more. Am I right? I love the layers. I love the dimension. What do y'all think? Let me know if you like layers and dimension and texture on your card projects, because I've got layer and texture and dimension on the panels with the ink blending, and then the Nuvo drops, and then the glitter paste, and now I have my dies, and I'm going to kind of go crazy with some foam tape to layer up the frames, and you'll see that in a little bit. And then of course I'm adding the grass, and then the piggies, so loads and loads of layer. Let me know what you think. Like I said, I feel like it takes it up a notch. I love it. So I think it's super fun and it's super cute. And here I'm just using my little Tonic scissors, and I'm cutting off all the excess from around the frame as well as from the inside die cut. And I'm lining them up to make sure that they match, and then I will start gluing them on and putting my little piggies in place. So I'm using my Zig two-way glue pen and adhering the first piece of the die cut down, and I'm just making sure that it's straight. And then I'm going to put it up under my Spellbinders mat, because that glue, just like the Nuvo glue pen, takes a little bit of time to adhere, and of course there's lots of texture on that panel, so I want to just give it some time and some pressure so that it doesn't get bumped or moved or in any other way messed up. So here I am using the X-Fasten foam tape, and I feel like I'm going at this like a drunken sailor with the foam tape. If y'all don't have the X-Fasten, or if you've never used it, I encourage you to use it. A, it's inexpensive. B, it sticks well, and C, it doesn't give a whole lot of lift. It just gives that little extra oomph to your project. However, that red, I don't even know what it's called. Anyway, it's super hard to get off, right? Oh my gosh, I'm fighting it, and then it sticks. The static is incredible, and it sticks to my hands. So whereas I, gave some happy claps and some, full-on jazz hands earlier as the project was coming along, here I'm making angry fists. I just cut that out because fighting with this red tape, where is it called? Y'all let me know what that stuff is called. But fighting with it was a bit of a nightmare, because at first I couldn't get it to come off, and then it was sticking to my hands, and then here it starts blowing around because I have my fan on. Oh well, it's okay. Overall, I'm totally digging the projects. They're so cute. That little piggy in the background, I end up moving him for the final project. You'll see he's in a little different place because the laying down piggy kind of covers him up. So there you can see I moved him a little bit, the guy in the background, and I put my little daisies on there as well over on the left. And here I'm just adhering everything together. The project is coming together. I've layered the panel with the black layering piece and adhered them both down to the card bases, and there they are. Oh my gosh, I am totally geeking out about it. It is the cutest thing. I am loving these images, and that background is just the perfect, between the daisies and the sky background. I can't stand it. It's so stinking cute. So I apologize that I have stepped on the gas pedal in terms of the speed, but I wanted to keep this at a reasonable time frame. As it is, it's almost 16 minutes. And I didn't want to cut out too much, because I feel like, we all like to see each other's process and that. So I tried to keep in as much as I could, and still produce 2 cards for you, and show you a video that made sense. So this stuff, whatever that stuff is, that's so hard to get off of that foam tape, I don't know, I guess stuff is a technical term there, huh? And here I'm adding some more stickles. I believe it's stickles, and it's not the Nuvo drops. I'll have to check and make sure, and I'll list them below. But this stuff is like a party in a bottle. I mean, look at his belly when I pull my hand away. Are you kidding? Look at that. Oh my gosh. So his belly and the butterfly and their snouts and the flowers, they all have some of that glitter gel. Oh my gosh, the glitter drops, whatever it's called. Again, the technical stuff. So there it is. You can see the glitter and the glimmer and the shine and the texture and the dimension. And I am in love with these, you guys. Oh my gosh. You know, there are no rules in paper crafting. As long as you like what your end product is, that's what it's all about. So here are my final products. Just take a minute and look at them. Let me know what you think down below. Are they the happiest little piggy cards you've ever seen? And again, remember that this is a hashtag driven hop. Just tap on that hashtag and all the participants will pop up for you, and you can jump around. Make sure that you like, comment, subscribe. Again, the comments and the subscription to Katharine's channel is what gets you in for the prizes. And again, look at all those sponsors. Ooh, I'm excited about that. Y'all, I'm Nancy the Handy Scandy, and thanks again for joining me for another crafty venture. Bye.